It pisses me off when I hear all these pundits and all these fan channel clamoring on Premier League experience, Premier League experience. Like, what the hell? If you have a good scouting system, you have a decent coach, a good scouting system that understands the pattern and play that your team wants to achieve. You go out there and find a nice player suitable for your league, irrespective of the league he's playing, suitable for your game. Bring him in, he will fit right into your team. But when they start making this, what do you call it, notion of Premier League experience, you discover that along the line, probably the scout, the management, the director of football didn't actually scout the player well the way he's supposed to, and because other teams are going in for him, that's why they rush to go and buy. Check out a well organized team. Recently, the likes of Liverpool and the Man City. How many times have you seen them buying players that don't fit into their system from outside the outside the league? Players that don't even have any Premier League experience. Look at Luis Diaz, came in and immediately start flourishing because of the uh, great scouting system they have. Now you are talking about Premier League experience. Look at Greenish rotting in the bench. You see, the problem I have with all these Premier League experience anchorers is that they lead you, fans, and sometimes even the team that do listen to them, astray. They will glorify uh, a stone to be as a diamond, pushing it to you guys as Premier League experience, Premier League experience. And by the time you buy them at a very, very high, expensive price, you now realize that, whoa, I've wasted some money. And now they will now be telling you you're bringing one or two players to support that person. Doesn't work that way. If you want to buy players, get a great scouting system. Use a great data analyst. Bring all of them together, work and get a player that will fit the system of play you want to play, irrespective of the league. You can even go to the 10th, the 10th league in the top 10 and get a real gem from there that will come in and will scatter the position. As in, when I mean scatter, I mean Nigerian. So when I mean scatter, I mean I will perform above expectation than when you go in and you start bringing in Premier League experience. Don't get me wrong. There are players in the league that can as well perform, but don't work with this ideology of Premier League experience. So United, when they're about to appoint their manager, they are saying that Pochettino because of his Premier League experience. Because of what? Have you sat down and analyzed yourself that for the past 20 years of the Premier League game, 20 years of the Premier League, that all the coaches that have won the league have no Premier League experience firsthand before they win the league? The likes of Sir Alex Ferguson, he came in from the Scottish League. If we are hiring based of Premier League experience, why don't you go and hire the likes of Sam Allardyce or the likes of uh, all those coaches that have been in the Premier League for more than 20 years? Go and hire them and see whether you win the league or you even go lower than where you are before. Don't allow the pundits and all these fan channels clamoring down on the Premier League experience to deceive you into doing some serious mistake. Understand? Before you buy a player, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do your due diligence, and I'm not saying that there is no regime in the Premier League, but let Premier League experience be the least among your criteria of looking for a new player. Go out there, look for a player that is suitable to what you want. And the best one is suitability. Second is being the best in the position that you want to play. The best, absolute best. Don't go and say because it's a second class or this thing. And don't go and looking for those in the top 5 league, because their prices, no, the top 3 league, their prices will be astronomical, especially the Premier League. That's where you see a Premier League defender that is not even worth £200,000 being elevated, and the price tag you'll be seeing 50 million pounds. If you ask, it's just because of the Premier League experience. That's why the Arsenal went and buy Ben White. I'm not saying Ben White is not good. The guy is good, but he doesn't worth that 50 million. Harry Maguire, 25 million, give or take. And with all those monies that you are spending on all those useless Premier League experience per se, you would have used it to go and acquire a real gym that will fit your team and will fit what you are looking for and what you are going for. Ruben Diaz came in, Ruben Diaz came in and have taken over the whole place. Diaz from Man City defense. The guy came in and take over the whole place. Look at Kante, Mahrez. None of these players has Premier League experience when they came in. And they came in because the coach and the scouting system understood that this is the assignment, this is the kind of people we are looking for. Let's go and see the best that we can get, and at affordable price. I'm not saying affordable price of 50, 60 million. No, it's too much. Go down, 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 down. Pogba bought him for, I think, 100 and something thousand pounds. These are the kind of players you are looking for. Those players that nobody will even think of them. Bring them in and surprise them. Don't go and start doing all this football manager scouting, and everybody is hyping the player up and down, and boom, you go in for the player and you buy him. And when the player don't perform, you be like, he's finding it difficult to adopt to Premier League. No player is finding it difficult to adopt to Premier League. It's just because you didn't do your due diligence. Go and do your scouting well. Get everything, excuse me, right. You are looking for a defensive midfielder. Go out there and look at several data and statistics of defensive midfield. Now get your own system of play. Like Liverpool and Man City, they know what they want to play. They know how they want to play. Now look for a player that will be suitable for that system. Bring that player in, and believe you me, right from the first goal, the guy will surprise everybody. You don't need to go to the likes of Real Madrid, Ajax, Benfica, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid to go and buy players just because they are performing well. Because some of those players will come and they won't even live up to the expectation. But if you buy players, I'm not saying you shouldn't go and buy players from them, but understand first that you need to scout and know whether the player will fit. Don't go and buy. Well, if it doesn't fit, and find a way to fit. That will definitely destroy the harmony of the team. Because when the player is not playing, it becomes a problem. And if a player is not playing fine, it becomes another problem for you. That's where you have the likes of Shevchenko, that was a baller, came to Chelsea and automatically flopped. That saying is because of the cost of no. There is no cost there. When you don't do your due diligence, when you buy based on hype, that's what happened. And now currently everybody is hyping Rice. I'm not saying Rice is a bad player, but there are best alternative out there that can play far more better than Rice could even dream of offering. Why don't you maximize those opportunities? As for Manchester United, the new manager and they call it redevelopment, or let's say evolution or evolution that they want to do. Because of the number of players that are going out, it is best for you to look for the players, get your scouting team, the data analyst team, the data science teams, the director of football, the managers. Now, let them start now, not to the end of the season, not by the end of the season. Start now on scouting all those positions that you need to develop, all those positions that you need to bring in players for. Start now. Go around, gather all the data from any sort of league. You can even go. Why I don't even understand why people find it difficult to go to those South American team league and scout players. Those guys have a very very real talents there. Go and scout, bring in players from that side. There are players that can fit the position you are looking for perfectly without even you thinking twice, and with a very little amount of money. So that is it. That's what I have to take this morning. And because I was just listening to one or two Sky Sports, and they're telling me Premier League experience, Premier League experience. No, 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 no. Don't use it as a criteria to go after what you want. Know what you want and look for the best place that you can buy it at an affordable price. Because if you go and buy expensive, if you go and pay overpriced for something that you can get at cheap or free, who are you impressing? At the end, your net spend will be astronomical, and it will affect your financial fair play. And by the time you discover that even if that jam that you go and be overpaid for is not working fine, that becomes a problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my take. Let's get Premier League experience out of the way. Forget about it if possible. I'm not saying that there is no good player or there is no good gym in Jam in the Premier League. There are fantastic players in the Premier League, but don't buy them because of they have Premier League experience. There are players that have been bought from Premier League that have the Premier League experience, but still they still struggle to fit into their new team. And there are thousands of players that have come into the Premier League without any Premier League experience and have gone to perform beyond expectation. So let us not put this Premier League experience of a team on the table when discussing about any new incoming players. Remove that from the table and focus on how will this player improve our team. What is this player offering? Go and check the statistics. Check the style of play of the team you are buying him from. Check the style of play of the team that you are bringing him in. How will this player suit the team? And how dynamic is this player? How is he going to suit my team and my style of play? And how is the team is coming from? How are they playing? Compare those two data together. Compare the players together, and you have a regime there. Not going and buying players because of Premier League experience. Look at Longstaff. Actually, I think that's his name. Longstaff. I remember when he scored against Manchester United. Newcastle placed 50 million on him. Where is the guy now? He has Premier League experience. He's a midfielder. Why aren't people talking about him? Let us not be deceived by the press or this fans channel that bring in a lot of what do you call it, rubbish statistics that I don't even know where they get it from, just because they want to promote their own. No, don't do that. As a team, look for what's best for you and at the affordable price, because nobody will applaud you for buying 100 million player and the player comes and perform well, but they applaud your scouting system for buying for buying £1 million player, and the player comes and perform like a £200 million player. everybody will salute you for that. And it's not a black magic or a dark magic something. It's just doing your due diligence. Every day, football stars are born. Every day, football stars are being promoted into the professional first team league. Go out there, look at all those players. Go out to those leagues that people don't even think of going to. Focus on those players. Look at those players, study them, bring them in. And right from the set go, you see how they will progress. Let them experience, share the, share, if they are talking about Premier League experience. Let them experience the Premier League as they go. And once you do that, you discover that a lot of applause will be coming into your scouting system. Look at Liverpool, Robinson, Matip. These are the players, and now Liverpool have gone and they are buy Carvalho from Fulham. These are the kind of scouting system you need. Look at the player, what the player has to offer, and you buy the player. Not buying because of those overhyped Premier League experience. Go and check out the players that they bought under the impression of Premier League experience and see whether they are performing the way they are supposed to perform. Those guys are bench warmers at best. Don't buy because of Premier League experience. That's all I have to say this morning. Thank you and remain blessed.